Today in the Chokeslam Wrestling Report, we are going to be talking about the new World Heavyweight title that WWE pretty much debuted it on Monday Night Raw. Also, we're going to be talking about CM Punk being behind backstage before Raw went out and why security escort him out of the building. Also, we're going to be talking a little bit about Impact Wrestling. Trinity Fatu, aka Noemi or Naomi, whatever you want to call her, now is part of Impact Wrestling. We're going to have that and much more on the Chokeslam Wrestling Report.
We came out here to tell you to your face, you can't get ready for us. No, sir.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting.
Welcome to another episode of the Chokeslam Wrestling Report. I am your host, the infamous Ultimate One. Guys, bear with me today because I have a cold and I'm not at 100%. I'm still trying to recover from it. So we're going to jump straight up to what happened this past Monday night. This past Monday night on Raw, Triple H introduced a new World Heavyweight Championship. Yes, you heard me correct. A World Heavyweight Championship. Apparently, this been planned for a while, but when they first talked about it a couple of months ago, they talked about it as Cody Rhodes was gonna beat Roman Reigns for his undisputed World Universal title, whatever you want to call it, and those belts were not gonna be around anymore. But as you guys well know, Mr. Cody Rhodes did not, and I repeat, did not defeat Roman Reigns for I don't know what reason they didn't put the belt on him. But it all comes down because they want him to be champion for 1,000 days. So what they do, it's been almost a month since Roman Reigns has not defended his WWE title. So again, I brought this up in a post in a conversation when I said that Roman Reigns, yes, he may have the longest title reign going on right now, but let's be realistic. He only has defended that belt 30 times. 30 times. He has not defended that belt for almost a month already. So WWE decided that they were going to introduce the World Heavyweight Championship. So now I saw this belt. I have my opinions on it. I'm not too crazy the way the design is. Why do they have to put that humongous W in the middle? I still say that. My boy told me, oh, it's for branding. You know, back in the day, we couldn't recognize which title was whatever. Back in the day, the belts would look much better than the way they look now for a lot of promotion, including AEW. Um, so I said, okay, what is the reason they doing this? Because in reality, now you have 3 world titles. Yeah, you're gonna say, well, the one that Roman Reigns is carrying is not, is unified, but he's carrying 2 belts, both one the Universal title, the one with the World title. Now you have let me correct that. The WWE World title, the belt they introduced this past Monday, is the World title, the Big Goldie, the one that they had back in the day, the one that Ric Flair used to carry around, the one that Triple H had won so many times, which kind of brought something to my head the other day was, this is a Triple H move because if you think about it, when Triple H was world champion, yeah, I think he had a couple of reigns with the new Attitude belt, the Attitude Era belt, but most of his reign was with that big gold world belt. Okay, most of his reigns, he won the WWE a couple of times, whatever. But his love for the world title, the big gold belt, he loved it. So I don't blame him for bringing it in. Now my question to this is, so let's say, now you put this in the Night of Champions. I think they're gonna have I'm not sure if they're gonna have a tournament, but it's in the Night of Champions. I think in Saudi, and they're gonna crown world champion. Now, my question is, you know how bad it would look if they give the belt to Cody Rhodes. If they give the belt to Cody Rhodes, that's more like saying, well, okay, you almost beat Roman Reigns, and I know you're probably not going to get another world title shot because you belong in Raw now as of last night, but we're going to give you this belt. And my question to that is, whoever wins that world title, are they going to be considered equally as Roman Reigns, or they're still going to consider Roman Reigns above everybody because he has two belts? Okay, so that's something that you got to ask yourself. Why did WWE do this? you know, it doesn't make no sense. Then to top it off, okay, they go and now it looks like the only reason they did this was because if Roman Reigns loses the belt, the world titles, or the universal title, whatever you want to call it, he loses the belt, the universal title is going to get retired. And no one else will be given that opportunity to break that record. I mean, there's no other way. You're not going to give the belt to somebody else, and that person's going to be carrying two belts all the time. You're going to have three world titles. You got to give it to one, and you're not definitely not going to give up the world title who has been around for 63 years. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, you know. But you have to look at it that way because I know a lot of people may not agree with me because of what I'm saying, but it's the fact. It's a fact. You're not gonna be carrying a bunch of belts around. You know what I'm saying? And whatnot. So that world title they just introduced and whatnot, you know, I believe that, you could put it up there in the echelon of one of the best titles up there with the world title. But now with Roman Reigns walking around with two belts, and then Triple H said it best. He said, "Oh, Roman Reigns is going to defend the belt anytime he wants to." Thank you. That proves my point. That proves my point where I've been saying that Roman Reigns cannot be considered the best WWE World Champion when the guy has defended the belt 30 times out of 972-day title reign. It's unheard of. Okay, Nick Aldis probably had more title reign. I mean, the title defenses that Roman Reigns doing his 1,020 something in NWA. And don't come and tell me, oh, the NWA World Belt don't mean nothing. Well, now it doesn't mean anything. Well, look who has it. Tyrus. Okay? Don't mean anything. But Nick Aldis, when he defended that NWA World title, he defended it everywhere. And he was 1,000 and something days champion. Mind you that, okay, the NWA wasn't working because of the pandemic, but still, the guy defended the belt more than 30 times. I could make my research and probably pop out that he has defended the belt more than Roman Reigns right now. You know? But you have some of these WWE stands who don't want to hear nothing as far as the WWE cannot do no wrong. Cannot do no wrong. And whatnot. So, you know, I don't know. To me, honestly, there's people saying that most likely that Seth Rollins may win it. I don't think Seth Rollins should win the belt. I don't care because his entrance is popular, whatever. He shouldn't win the belt. If they give it to Cody Rhodes, it's still gonna look bad because they're gonna be like, "Well, we give you this title because you couldn't beat Roman Reigns, so we'll give you this." You know, I mean, you can say whatever you want. You could probably say, "Oh, I'm wrong." That's fine. That's your opinion. But I believe that, honestly, mm, I don't think so. To be honest, I don't think so. I know for a fact that, you know, I know what I'm talking about because it makes no sense. Uh, Another situation that happened this past Monday was the CM Punk showing up backstage before Raw went on air. Now, my question to that was real quick, like, what the hell is he doing in the backstage of Raw before it went on air? Now, I believe that he did this to show an example to AEW and the Elite, saying, "Look, first of all, I'm in Chicago. You know, what I'm saying the show was in Chicago, so that was his hometown. Fine, and he bumped into wrestlers from WWE in his way into Chicago. Um, so he said, let me do this. First of all, of course, to get clout, to get some type of reaction from the IWC. He goes backstage to Raw, and then he does and meets up with the Miz. Supposedly, he apologized to the Miz. He runs into Triple H and tells Triple H, "Can I talk to you for a couple of minutes?" Triple H in return told him, "Well, I got to talk to the big guy." The big guy meaning Vince McMahon. McMahon went and told security to escort CM Punk out of the building. Now, people are going to say that Vince McMahon was an asshole for doing that, but the bigger asshole out of this is CM Punk. And I'm going to tell you why. Because CM Punk knows that right now he's trying to get back into AEW, which most likely he is. He's going to get his show. You know, he's going to be in AEW Collision June 17th. He's going to have his own show. According to reports, he pretty much squats his beef with Jericho, and I believe that him and Jericho are going to be the ones that are going to be uh, feuding in the new show. Um, so that with being said, you know, he knows he got his show, but yet he is trying to prove a point. And his point is, I'm going to go to WWE and show these people that I could, say I'm sorry and we could move forward. So it's like an example. So I could show the Elite that, look, we could do the same thing. But no, WWE doesn't give a rat's ass about CM Punk. Hello, CM Punk. Big Man don't want nothing to do with CM Punk. And Big Man did a smart thing because CM Punk being in the backstage of Raw, okay, is a liability, okay? Because McMahon don't want no issues with CM Punk. He doesn't want to have him nowhere near his backstage, his bad locker rooms, none of that. And I don't blame him, okay? Because you don't want to get no legal action from AEW because CM Punk is still under contract with AEW. So if that is the case, then you know CM Punk should have never been in the locker room or backstage at Raw. He did it out of spite. I'm telling you, and I keep saying it. CM Punk is a problem. He is a cancer to pro wrestling. I know you got a lot of fans, you got a lot of followers that say no, no, it's not. CM Punk is a cancer. Why did he need to go backstage at Raw to begin with? You know what I'm saying? You made your point. Whatever your point was, you squashed beef with Chris Jericho. So what's the problem? So I don't get it. I don't get what he did there. Was he trying to send a message to the Elite? Look, I could say sorry and we could continue. I don't know what was his whole mentality, his whole purpose of doing this at all. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. And it makes no sense. It makes no sense of him being backstage, starting something that could have ended up being much worse. And of course, you had all these podcasters who were always trying to find something to put in a little channel on YouTube, you know, so they could have clickbait. Oh, look, CM Punk don't want to be in AEW. He wants to come back to WWE and whatnot. You had all those people already doing videos Monday night and whatnot when the reports came that he was backstage. I'm not gonna. I'm not. I'm on. Yeah, I got my pocket. But I'm not gonna jump on anything without getting follow-ups, reports, things that are gonna make me go on my podcast and tell the truth, not to give you opinions or something that you want to hear. Because again, in reality, like I said, CM Punk did not need to be in Raw's locker room. I don't care if he's in Chicago or not. You do not need to be there. Okay, he did it out of spite. He did it out to get a reaction from the audience. They follow him on social media. That's why he did it. That's why he did it. You know what I'm saying? Also, um, Jacob Fatu, he pretty much, he said that, a lot of people have been asking why, you know, he don't come to WWE. He said he would love to be in the WWE and part of the bloodline, but it's up to the Lord of God's hand. So he said he does appreciate that a lot of people see his grind, and his work, and but he said that he watched his brothers every day, but he didn't think that he was going to be in MLW that long, and that is why he hasn't been there. He said he like Roman and my brothers say they always call and tap in. They can say this and that about the family. Everyone assuming I love what they're doing. The feeling of what they're doing is real. If you ask me, it's God's timing, and I'm going to leave it at that. There ain't no telling. So there you go. Also, Vince McMahon and WWE sued by ex-writer over racial discrimination and wrongful determination. Brittany Abrams, a former WWE writer from 2020 to 2022, filed a lawsuit on April 25th against Vince McMahon this past Tuesday and other WWE executives over alleged racial and gender stereotype in scripts and wrongful termination. The lawsuit includes Stephanie McMahon, Chris Lobrando, who was creative writer of Operation of WWE. WWE created team members Chris Dunn, Ryan Callahan, Jan Peppermint, and former team member Mike Keller. Examples cited included Bianca Belair saying, "Uh-oh, don't make me take off my earrings and beat your ass," and Apollo Crews speaking with stereotypical, exaggerated Nigerian accent. The lawsuit also cites discriminatory pitches for Reggie scripts in NXT, where he will be hunted by Shane Thor and a love triangle between Mansoor, Aaliyah, and Angel Garza, which included Mansoor's secret being that he was behind 9/11. And Abrams alleged she was fired by the company for taking, ready for this, a commemorative WrestleMania 37 chair home. In the years before she made her complaints, WWE did not subject employees to disciplinary action in response to taking removable temporary seatings, limited edition WrestleMania branded chairs from WrestleMania events. So Abraham was terminated on April 7, 2022, alleging that in retaliation for engaging protected conduct defendants unlawful and pretextually terminated plaintiff employment. So there you go. So another lawsuit going to WWE. I don't think she's gonna win, to be honest. I mean, the part that she said that they had an idea about Mansoor being part of 9/11. Uh, the fact that I think Mansoor is Saudi Arabia, that's a problem. I mean, WWE. I mean, let's put it this way: racism exists everywhere. I'm not gonna go and say WWE this, WWE that. Racism is everywhere in this day and age. So, if she's gonna win, maybe they'll settle. You know what I'm saying? I don't think she has a strong case to begin with because if she felt that that was going on, she should have left a long time ago. So she didn't leave. She stood there and then she got terminated. If you're not happy somewhere and you feel that you're getting discriminated, it's for you to go, not for you to stay there and then get fired. So some people just be like, "Oh, I work for WWE. It's the greatest thing ever." If they're being they're discriminating you and they're making racist comments or racist stuff, you're not happy, leave. Simple as that. Leave. Also, Nick Aldis says he don't want to waste time. He said he's coming for the Impact World Title. He said that Impact showed him respect, basically saying we want Nick Aldis as you are. He said coming here, we want to build off the work you've done, which from the NWA. But a funny part in this whole um, report was that he said, and I'm going to put it, he said that he said, finally, I have some real competition that I'm looking around. Like, I want to mix it up with him. I want to get in there with him. Me and him will be money. Take your pick. Make no mistake. If I'm coming in, I don't want to waste any time. I'm coming up to the strap. Basically saying the NWA didn't have no competition. Yep, I'm going to read that between that. I mean, if you read the whole article, it shows that he said, finally, there's competition. He said, finally, I have some real competition. And he spoke this to Tim on Battleground in a podcast. So, you know, it's crazy, but the crazy stuff is that Nick Aldis being in there is a good move for Impact. Now he did say that they have a murderers row roster, which is making me laugh because they don't have a murderers row roster. They don't. Come on, stop. They got a good roster, but not a murderers row roster. That's he's over exaggerating with that. But yeah, he pretty much put a thumb on NWA, and I don't blame him. NWA did him dirty. Billy Corgan and his little NWA, and with Tyrus being their champion, it's a joke. You don't even hear I don't hear nothing about NWA. Do you hear anything about NWA? I don't hear nothing about them. I don't. Nobody even promotes them anymore. You know what I'm saying? NWA is a joke to me. NWA, I don't mess with NWA no more. I don't mess with MLW anymore, especially with the way they're running it. I stopped watching them. I felt like it was too much waste of time. I say it's a waste of time because some of the shows were not good, and I'm not gonna sit there and try to cover shows. And you know, what I'm saying like, the one thing I don't watch is Impact, and if I watch Impact, I'll watch probably a pay per view. MLW I don't watch anymore, and NWA definitely I don't watch. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sorry for you NWA, MLW fans, and Impact fans. No, I don't. Impact I watch sometimes, but mm-mm. They're not doing much that I could say. But anyway, well, Osprey talked about his 2024 free agency. He said, I'm fairly positive in New Japan and I will work out a deal. He said, I just want to know what my options are. Doesn't mean I'm leaving New Japan Pro Wrestling. I'm fairly positive me and New Japan Pro Wrestling will work out a deal. But in case we don't, I want to provide for my family, wrestle how I want to wrestle, and most importantly, you know, he wants to be happy. Also, he made sure, you know, um, he made sure that he made it known that his war with Kenny Omega is not over. So, you know, Trinity Fatu pretty much is done with WWE. If you don't know what Trinity Fatu is, that's AKA Naomi. She pretty much made her debut yesterday at an Impact Wrestling taping. So there you go. So that will be shown May 5th. I believe it's May 5th or May 4th. So that will be air. So she and that is a bridge to stardom. The reason I say that is because New Japan and Impact work together. So I guess we're probably going to be seeing Trinity Fatu in Stardom with Mercedes Monet. We could see that. Uh, I mean, Mercedes Monet did lose her IWGP title on last week. I think it was last Sunday. She lose her world title to Maya Awatani. I think if I said the name right, I might say it wrong, but she's no longer the world champion. So, but she will be at Resurgence supposedly. I think a couple of weeks from now for New Japan. So you know, there you go. So she's now um in Impact, which is really good for Impact because their women's division is getting solid. And that'll be a nice little competition for Diana Perrazzo, who became the the Knockouts champion a couple of weeks ago. So that's good for her. Jordan Grace, of course, she's in there, which I'm not a big fan of hers. I don't care for her. So it's something to watch and follow up from weeks to come. AEW this week, we saw Bandito against Orange Cassidy. I don't know if I say Chris Candido. I don't know why. Bandito and Orange Cassidy for the international title. We saw that. I don't know why Orange Cassidy defeated Bandito, who's an international star. But then they made them team up together when Adam Cole got attacked by the Jericho Appreciation Society, and then Roderick Strong made his debut. They're about 2 years too late because Bobby Fish is no longer with AEW. He shitted on AEW and went to Impact, and he has not been seen since. Kyle O'Reilly's still recuperating from his neck injury and whatnot. So I don't know why they built Roderick Strong, but I know one thing: Roderick Strong did a suplex on Jake Hager, who's about 7 feet, and he got 2 feet over Roderick Strong, and I didn't get that one, but Jake Hager has become a joke in AEW. I'm still waiting for Miro, and I'm still waiting for Scorpio Sky to show up in AEW because unless they're gonna show up at AEW Collision, then we could have that. We could have that going on. But yeah, and also Kenny Omega and Kanuska Takeshita, whatever his name is, Kanuska Takeshita, got attacked by a Blackpool Combat Club this week after they defeated the Butcher and the Blade. Um, Takeshita tried to stop the Elite from attacking the Combat Club, and then the Combat Club attacked the Elite. He started to stop the Combat Club from attacking. Uh, Brian Danielson gave him a choice, and Danielson said, "Well, you made your choice. Guess what?" And here comes Moxley with the screwdriver and busted him open and whatnot. So now we're gonna have a steel cage match between Kenny Omega and Moxley next Wednesday. Uh, you know, but other than that, then I didn't really watch Rampage this week. It started early. I know the Bullet Club Go. I don't know where they're going with that. I'm still waiting. I'm not too crazy. I mean, right now, especially the four pillars match, that's gonna happen because they already set up a tag team match between Darby Allin and Jungle Boy versus MJF and Sammy Guevara. After Sammy Guevara beat Darby Allin by disqualification because the MJF uh, took Darby's skateboard, gave it to him, and then Sammy acted like he got hit. He did some Eddie Guerrero shit there. And then of course Tony Khan announced that they're gonna have the Owen Hart tournament. They're gonna start off at Double or Nothing. I don't know why, but I guess they want to take it all the way down to Forbidden Door. We'll be in Toronto, and then they'll end up at Calgary and whatnot. This week we saw Dax Harwood wrestle Jeff Jarrett, and I don't know why every time I see Dax Harwood get into a singles match, he loses. And I don't want to hear people talking about, oh, he's a tag team specialist. So was Bret Hart, and Bret Hart was good as a single. So I don't know why Jeff Jarrett is getting a title shot, a tag team. Why is Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal getting another AEW tag team? The one thing I noticed is the tag team division in AEW is not that strong anymore. It used to be the best tag team division in the country, in the world. Now, I don't know. But it is what it is. But that is it for me this week, guys. Thank you very much for checking out my podcast. And when I had to redo this over again because my microphone wasn't working, it wasn't coming in sharp and clear. So I had to redo this all over again. So, guys in Facebook, I will put this back up when I get a chance this week. So, again, thank you for everybody who support the podcast and those who of the 256 subscriber to my channel. Thank you very much for you supporting the podcast, guys. If you want to check out my uh my uh my podcast, you can find it not only here on YouTube, but you can also find the audio podcast. That's part of you'll hear this show also on the audio podcast on Spotify, Apple, Amazon Music, and any audio podcast platform that you guys like to listen to, and whatnot. Your favorite shows. Also, you can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. I usually be on Twitter most of the time. Also, you can follow me on TikTok. Also, guys, check out my my podcast merchandise store. We got the t-shirts, hats, hoodies. Go to TCWR dot veryimpressive.com. Again, that's TCW dot TCWR dot veryimpressive.com, and you get the t-shirts, the hat, plus you also get the hoodie. There you go, guys. The hoodie right there. Chokeslam Wrestling Report. You know what I'm saying? So you can see everything. And you get that. You know what I'm saying? For next year, because I know summer's coming around the corner. You got t-shirts, hats, all kinds of stuff. Once again, TCWR dot veryimpressive.com. Again, guys, I'm sorry. Coughing a lot, sniffing. I'm recovering from a cold. I didn't make it to the Invictus Pro Wrestling show last night because I was sick. Shout out to Jay Bougie for winning the Invictus Pro social media title and whatnot. Hopefully PJ Savage hopefully won his match. Again, I wasn't able to make it. I bought the ticket, but I was feeling so bad that I couldn't make it. So hopefully the next one. Again, guys, thank you very much for supporting the podcast. Again, guys, you can follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube channel. Hit that notification bell. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that thumbs up to help the channel. And definitely, I will appreciate it. Until then, guys, I will see you guys next week.